How's everybody in their warm homes this morning? It's a lot warmer out here today than it was yesterday.
Oh, it's beautiful right now.
Yeah, the sun's shining. No chemtrails.
Another. Come over here and talk.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, I've been talking to everybody.
Yeah.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, everybody.
Yeah, I'm talking to everybody.
Yeah. The artifacts. People talk about them. Tell me. Educate
Well,
me.
the ranchers. There was just a couple came in, and the government has really come against them, and they said that they've used every trick that they can think of, and what they do is they have something to do with horses. It was really hard to. I don't speak the rancher lingo, so but they're looking at 20 years in prison. The BLM has just been. They've just been terrorizing them, and it's a woman because her name is on the property, so she's the one that she's looking at prison time. So they
How many years?
They said they've been watching, and they're starting to get confidence that maybe this is for real, that there's actually people here that can actually help them. So they thought that they'd come here today.
That's outstanding.
Yeah.
Wow.
And talk to somebody. So I sent them down.
This is for real, and more people are feeling empowered. They're feeling much more confident. Okay. There are still those. As a matter of fact, I'm going to call them the silent majority.
Right.
There's a silent majority of individuals who are supportive of this thing, but you know what? They're business owners.
Right.
They can't come out and be vocal because they don't want backlash from the community. They're going to lose business if they do that.
Right.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what side they're on. If they choose a side or vocalize their side, they're going to lose business if they're a business owner, no
That's
matter
right.
what, right?
Yep.
And they just can't afford that. We actually spoke with a business owner this morning that she said, if I come out and say that I'm supportive of it, I'll lose $2,000 a month.
Right.
Right? And
Yeah.
that's a pretty frightening prospect for that person. They wanted to remain anonymous, but at the same time, they expressed their support and encouragement.
Right.
Okay, so to those that are watching the stream at home, that are for or against, what?
Yeah.
Those that are watching the stream at home that are for or against, just realize how vital, just as long as we're doing the right thing, how vital the quote-unquote outsiders like myself, okay,
Right.
that are here, even just providing a stream so that people know what's going on. There was fake reports that were put out there yesterday about 11 arrests.
Yeah. Right.
Why that report was put out there, I want you to know that there is a technique that the FBI uses, okay, that they want to see who's actively researching this stuff, okay, that they're concerned. They want to see when somebody lands on that website, okay, and they're reading that article, they can get into your computer, okay. They can know what searches you've made. They know what side of the issues you are.
Right.
And they're identifying you and collecting data. The Federal Bureau of Investigations, by the way, hello to you guys over there. I know you have me on your Jumbotron screen.
Hi, guys. We're
I
being
want you to know, lawful, constitutional, and I'm going to do everything in my powers to recommend that the sheriff kick you out of here because you guys have a conflict of interest here in this thing. your goal and your focus is not for the public benefit at all. Your goal and your interest is to cause through the PSYOP is to cause fear, is to cause confusion, is to break apart any unification that could ever take place. That's your main focus, and
Right.
to of course win the battle. And as far as the hearts and minds, to prevent any education of the public, and to do so on behalf of a federal government that wants to take this land from the ranchers. I believe that that's a conflict of interest. I don't feel safer with the Federal Bureau of Investigations being here at all. And I don't think, quite frankly, that you guys are even necessary, because we, the people, can provide safety and security, and we can do so transparently out in the open. We don't need to be covert about how we operate in providing safety and security for the public, for the demonstrators, as well as for the Sheriff's Department, for local law enforcement. There's a lot of sheriffs that are really, really concerned about what's going on. A lot of them are miseducated, because they got the FBI saying these guys are militants, and here's pictures of Pete Santilli as an agitator, and here are the domestic terrorists on the inside, and you're scaring the crap out of them. And it's so far from the truth. It's time for you guys to go home. I hope that the sheriff, that's the highest law enforcement authority, says, you know what, we don't need your electronic surveillance. We don't need your covert PSYOP. We don't need any of that stuff, because it doesn't serve the public interest.
Yeah, there's a lot of sheriffs across this country, a lot of sheriffs that we have talked to, who agree with what Pete just said. You know, they outwardly say to the government, if you come into our county with your militarized BLM, or your militarized police, or whatever it is that you want to come in our county with, we're going to meet you with an equal force. We don't want your money. We don't take grants from you. We take care of our own. And there's a lot of sheriffs out there that are willing to do that and stand up to the government. And guess what? They can't come into their county, and they don't. And the sheriff has every right to say that.
That's right. And you know what? The sheriff, Ammon Bundy, said that he has empathy for the sheriff. There's a lot of pressure from the feds
Right.
upon the sheriff. But you know, I think that's the importance of this committee of safety meeting. If the will of the people says that the sheriff, as the highest law enforcement person, is to kick out the Federal Bureau of Investigations, or kick out the feds, get rid of the BLM, just kick them to the curb. We don't need the federal government coming in and holding this land, but and seizing it and protecting it by force. If it's against the public interest, and the will of the people is expressed through the Committee of Safety, then the sheriff has to enforce the law per the will of the people. And I think that's the way it needs to be done. Maybe it'll take some of the pressure off of the sheriff, to where he says, you know what, I've got a mandate here from the Committee of Safety,
Right.
that I must enforce the law, I must be constitutional, and it's time for you guys to go. I have to do it. I have no choice. This is what the Committee of Safety has said.
Yeah.
So you guys that have me up on your Jumbotron, hopefully you've got me on
hope
your
it's a
speaker
good
system.
angle.
Huh?
We hope it's a good camera angle.
I hope so. Yeah, and
Just
by the
saying.
way, I was all not concerned, but there was that possibility that just by going over near the FBI compound, that I would have been arrested. And I wanted to make absolutely certain that if you guys were going to take me, that you were going to take me down for reading the Declaration of Independence to you. That's the way I want to go out, right?
That's right, baby.
Pete Santilli was arrested for harassing the FBI with the Declaration of
We'll
Independence.
probably be back over there to read other things to you guys and remind you of the spirit of this country and what this country was founded on. It wasn't founded on, the idea that you could surveil every American citizen without warrant.
Mm-hmm.
That is not what this country was founded on. It just isn't. And what you're doing is so totally wrong.
Mm-hmm.
It's completely wrong and out of sorts. Now, I do have to give them some credit. They're not on the scene like they were at Waco, or like you guys were at Ruby Ridge, that we know of. I mean, I think these guys have got a pretty good idea about who's in this area and who
Yeah,
isn't.
but you know
no,
what?
wait a minute. I want to say,
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
at least they haven't. At least you guys have not taken that step and gone that far, maybe you did learn something about murdering American citizens without any reason.
No, and then there's the other side of that argument, okay, that says that I would much rather have you present and visible before you kill us versus doing it covertly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't like your whole covert, kinder, gentler FBI that's going to kill us.
Right.
Okay? Sorry. I don't go for that.
Well,
I'd rather have you out in the open. I'd rather have you pull up here with tanks so we know what you're going to do,
Not
okay?
me.
Huh?
Not me.
No, you know what? That's what they're trying to do it covertly.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I don't
think
like
they're-
that.
I think their equipment's gotten a lot better. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that they
Yeah.
are not able to
I'd rather have
see
you.
what's happening.
Yeah, let's apply some conventional warfare tactics than the unconventional psyops that you guys are doing. Because
Right.
I'd rather have you overtly bring in your Janet Reno tanks with the little gas snoot on the front of it that you
Right.
used to kill all those people at Waco,
Yeah.
than to have you perpetrating psychological warfare on the population and them not knowing what the heck you're doing.
There you
I'd
go.
rather have you come at me with a tank than to skull plug me with your electronic mind control stuff. Right,
Indeed.
right, Kenny? Kenny, would you rather have? What's up, guys? Would you rather have the FBI roll up their tanks, okay? And like their big tanks that they use, the Janet Reno tank where they had that big gas snoot and they
Right.
poked it in the side of the building at Waco and they
Right.
burned the building down and killed all those men, women, and children? Would you rather have them roll a tank up here, or would you rather have them covertly perpetrate psyops and electronic mind control?
No, I'd rather see them roll the tanks up
Yeah.
because the technology they're using should never be used against anybody in humanity.
Yeah.
But they're using on American citizens.
How many antennas did you see over there sticking out
Oh,
of
a
there?
lot
Oh
of
my
them.
goodness.
You
Yeah.
think it's just for two-way communication, or do you think they're putting out some serious?
No, they're putting out frequencies.
They're putting out frequencies.
And it's called targeted individuals in America, but most people are targeted, they just don't realize it
That's
yet.
right. Yeah. And
Yeah.
do you think that they're also like online? Do you think that they're trying to skull plug through propaganda through the media as well as online social media to win the hearts and minds so that they can continue to seize the land and hold it in violation of the U.S. Constitution?
Absolutely, they're on. How do you get control of everybody's computer where you can put your mouse one place, they move it another and click it?
Yeah.
I mean,
Wow.
they got us so tied down, and the American people don't even understand it.
And that's not a conspiracy theory.
No,
is it?
it's not conspiracy, that's fact.
Yeah, and a lot of people are learning about these techniques that they're employing, okay? Back to my point. I would much rather have them roll tanks so that everybody can see what they're doing than to do something even worse, and that is covert mind control, psyoping, psychological warfare upon the American people.
Absolutely.
That's why the FBI needs to leave, vacate this county. They need to go.
They need to vacate America. They
Yeah.
they need to go
Oh,
back to
amen.
Nazi Germany.
Mm-hmm.
That's where they need to go. Even Russia is using the same technology.
And if you think that's radical, I should probably start listing all the patents, okay?
Right.
That I've been exposed to as to like this crazy fanatical radical thought of using mind control technology. There's patented technology that the FBI is currently employing upon the American public here in Harney County right now. They are using electronic psychological warfare upon the American
Let me-
public, and they don't even know it. Isn't it?
Let me get you a brochure and you can read off the one on the
You have them?
first skull. Yeah.
You have the patents?
Yeah, they're right here.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of that, Pete, our website, we may be getting DDoS'd. Our website's down.
It
our
is?
donate. So I told everyone they could go directly to
Our PayPal
You can
account?
go directly to PayPal. Give them.
Are we getting hit on our website
I
right
think
now?
so, yeah.
Okay.
Give
You
them.
can show the front
hang on,
of it,
give-
and there's the patents.
Give them what email address to go to.
Okay. Support our mission. Now listen to this. All right. Okay, it's called the Stockland Heron U.S. patent. You ready? U.S. patent number. Look this up, okay? 4858612. Okay? 4858612. And that was December 19th, 1983. Now, when I talk about these patents, all right, you need to imagine this. You cannot get a patent about an idea that you intend to develop a device in the future that might work. No, this is, you can only get a patent on technology that you've demonstrated actually works. Okay. Here's another one. It's called voice to skull. All right. This is actually transmitting voices into the human mind. And I thought to myself when I first heard about this, what are you talking about? Voice to skull technology. Here's the U.S. patent number. You ready? Patent number 6470214. Those antennas that are being broadcasting frequencies, okay, over these antennas all throughout this area, if they want to transmit, to speak with the human cranium, okay, the patent number is 6470214. What they will do is say, that Pete Santilli, he's just a conspiracy theorist. You go look at the patent, you read it yourself, and you just make a determination all on your own, okay? When I started reading these patents, I couldn't even imagine that they were doing this to the American public, okay?
Right.
That they're literally not just employing this technology upon the American public, they're also using the media as a subtle form of mind control and propaganda. Let me give you another thing I want you to look up. You ready? Look up the National Defense Authorization Act of 2012, okay? What that did was repeal the Smith-Mundt Act of 1946. Now, what is the Smith-Mundt Act of 1946? It prohibits the federal government from perpetrating a subtle form of mind control, propagandizing, using the media to propagandize the American public for essentially for psychological warfare.
Right.
Okay? The National Defense Act of 2012, it repealed the Smith-Mundt Act of 1946, which prohibited them from employing those strategies and techniques that we used to do in Afghanistan, in Iraq, and all those countries in the Middle East. They're now doing it in the United States of America as of 2012.
Right.
It's psychological warfare being perpetrated upon the American people. You can go determine that for yourself. Look up the Smith-Mundt Act of 1946 and look at the repealing of that through the NDAA of 2012. This is not conspiracy theory. You make up your own mind. You do your own research. Okay? Here's another one. You ready? Remote neural monitoring. That's mind reading, okay?
Right.
Here's the patent. You ready? Patent number 3951134. And that was April 20th of 1976. Look up U.S. patent number 3951134. Okay? That's just one of many. Here's another one. Electromagnetic pulse generator. Patent number 7475624. Ladies and gentlemen, why am I reading this stuff to you? Is it all boring? When I talk about what I believe, and I saw this for myself, that they have some of the most sophisticated electronics right now that the FBI is using covertly to perpetrate psychological warfare upon the American public here in Harney County. Why? Because they do not want the American public to know the truth about what the core issues are here with respect to the ranchers.
Right.
There's literally, with this land grab and the grabbing of our water resources, our mineral resources, there's literally billions, if not trillions of dollars at stake here.
Right, exactly.
Okay? Does that sound weird to you?
Trillions.
Huh?
Trillions of dollars.
Trillions of dollars.
Yeah.
Okay? They will go to Afghanistan to protect $1 trillion vein of lithium
And heroin.
and heroin in the hundreds of billions of dollars.
No kidding. Yeah.
We know, ladies and gentlemen, that the Federal Bureau of Investigations and the CIA are involved in a massive drug trafficking business out of Afghanistan in the hundreds of billions of dollars of heroin. What does that have to do with this land stuff? I don't want the FBI involved in any investigation if they're involved in things like heroin trafficking, if they're involved in land grabs, if they're involved in seizing land for mineral and water resources. We don't need them involved. Their interests are for the establishment, not for the people. Get the hell out of town, please. Thank you. Hey,
And I'm
you
going
leaving?
to say to David Ward
Thank
that you know about this technology being used on American citizens. All sheriff's departments are using it. You need to make sure your county doesn't use this, David Ward. I came in and talked to you, and you seem like a very good man and a kind heart. I hope you can at least stop that for right now. Thank you.
You know what? The FBI, I would say that the sheriff has the authority to make this decision, but I would say that the FBI staying would have to be conditional. You'd have to take down all of those antennas, especially if you're broadcasting those funky frequencies that are listed in these patents, okay? You should not be broadcasting frequencies that affect the human mind, okay? So if you can guarantee that, you can stay. You'd also have to make sure that you're here operating within the public interest, not on behalf of the government's interest in seizing land. Will you be able to do that? Probably not, okay? You'd also have to guarantee that the only reason why you would be here is if the sheriff, okay, cannot handle security. Well, guess what? The sheriff can get some help with security here from the Idaho 3%ers who are going to be here and other militia groups as well that are going to maintain a neutral position to provide security for the demonstrators, for the public, and even for the sheriff's department. We don't need you. Go. Leave. We don't need you. Go back to D.C.
We'll handle it ourselves.
Yeah, we'll handle it ourselves.
Let me tell them, all of you, this is it says target individual awareness, and it shows Tyrone Dew. This is a paper he passes out. So any of you think Tyrone's not there doing a good job, take a look at that. He's got Robert Duncan, he's got Myron May, Aaron Alexis, all of them on there, and then that's Robert Duncan.
Yeah, that's right. Robert Duncan here, okay? But by the way, the FBI will probably, once they hear this on their Jumbotron system, they'll say that Pete Santilli, he's just a crackpot, kook pot, whatever he is, right?
Yeah, he needs to go to psych
Talking
ward.
about, yeah, he needs to go to a psych ward. Those are the strategies that they employ that don't work anymore. It's no longer going to work. We understand what you've been doing here in this community to cause fear, okay? That even perpetrating a fearful psychological attack upon the sheriff himself, telling him, oh my goodness, you're receiving death threats from people. Those death threats are not being levied by the good patriots that are here. Those death threats are being fabricated by the people that are in those in that FBI compound.
Right.
Okay? That's where it's coming from. You are actually committing, through psychological warfare, crimes against humanity upon this sheriff so that he'll surrender his constitutional authority so that you guys can continue your thing. This guy right here, Dr. Robert Duncan, listen to this. Dr. Robert Duncan has degrees from several schools, including Harvard and Dartmouth. He's worked on projects with the CIA, the DOD, the DOJ. He revealed to Jesse Ventura the ongoing covert directed energy weaponry called no-touch torture programs conducted on non-consensual American citizens by use of low-frequency wave antenna technology, okay, known as VOG, or Voice of God weaponry, all right? This is the stuff that we've done overseas against our foreign enemies, okay? And it's now being, they're now using this technology upon American people that are rising up, like out here.
Right.
By revealing this information to you, ladies and gentlemen, by exposing this, that's the only way that we can be resistant to it and that we can defeat it. I'm telling you right now, when we came away from that FBI facility, I knew exactly what was going on. I saw all of those antennas.
Right.
I saw all of the things that they're doing to the sheriff, causing him to be fearful. He wouldn't even come up here until yesterday.
Right.
Because of what they've done to him. The psychological warfare on the ground with human intelligence, human assets, okay, as well as the electronic technology that they're doing, the surveillance technology that they're doing without warrant.
Right.
I'm being surveilled. Is there a warrant? Have I committed any crimes?
No.
Am I suspected of committing any crimes?
Tell them about the one when you went in that store and spent $600.
Yeah.
And the woman told you.
Right, exactly. They actually surveilled me and they called her cell phone, okay, within 30 seconds after me walking out of the building and asking, did you give Pete Santilli a new cell phone number? That we know that you've been actually providing cell phones to Pete Santilli. First of all, my cell phone doesn't work here. Second of all, she didn't give me cell phones. She gave me this right here. This is what she sold me. That's not a cell phone. This is a Verizon hotspot. But they were surveilling. Within 30 seconds after me walking out, they made contact with her. How are they able to do that? To conduct this surveillance. Here's another thing that I don't like you guys doing. You declare everyone that wants to enforce the Constitution a terrorist. That's not terrorism in America. Enforcement of the U.S. Constitution, the day that becomes terrorism, that's the day that we're finished. Okay?
We're almost finished.
We're almost finished, but there's a good opportunity for us to stop them from doing what they're doing.
Right.
Okay? We're not terrorists. Who's terrorizing whom? Mr. FBI agent watching me on the Jumbotron over there in the trailer. Who is committing terrorism?
The FBI and CIA, all of them committing terrorism.
That's right. That's a lot that I just dumped on you guys. And it's a lot to absorb. And you guys can go do your own research, okay? Don't believe me, all right? You know what they say? Not they. You know what Kenny says? Just Google it up.
And a good place, and see what you find. And a good place to start is go to GMNKen.com.
That's right.
And you get all you need right there.
That's right. Google it up and see what you find. Those patents, okay? When I heard about this stuff, I said, "Oh my goodness, that just sounds so cockamamie."
Right.
That just sounds crazy. That, like, what's this Pete Santilli talking about? What's this GMN Kenny talking about? Mind control technology. What is that? I just read you the patents. You go look them up yourself. Google it up, see what you find.
Thanks, Pete.
Right. Google it up. We have to go into town.